Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Bueckers?
She's okay.
The comparison between Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark is heating up, and everyone, even Luka, has weighed in. Fresh off a March Madness victory and being selected as the #1 pick in the draft, the expectations for Paige in her first professional season are sky high. Some analysts claim Paige is a more complete player than Caitlin, citing her college championship, while Caitlin's fans counter with every stat they can find, including ticket sales, to support their argument. Things got even more intense when ESPN released projections for Paige's upcoming season. We'll break that down in a minute, but basketball is more than just fame and numbers. Recently, a few interviews have stirred the pot and reignited the fan base debates. Both players made remarks, whether intentional or not, that have gotten fans riled up all over again.
I'm gonna be honest, Paige Bueckers well and truly has given ammo to, the biggest Paige Bueckers haters.
Paige's recent interview with Time magazine created the most buzz. She was asked directly about the ongoing Caitlin Clark comparisons. Some fans praised her response, but others think it may reveal something about how this rivalry will unfold, especially when compared to what Caitlin said in her own interview. Let's dive into the quotes, the reactions, and of course, the stat projections. But first, if you're excited to see these two face off in Dallas at an NBA arena, hit that like button.
So far, there's already statistical evidence, actual analytics, facts don't care about your feelings, showing that no, she is not moving the needle in women's sports or women's basketball nearly to the effect of Caitlin Clark.
I'm not here to overload you with a bunch of stats comparing Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark. You've probably seen that plenty of times. What's important is this. From the moment they stepped onto the college basketball scene, both Paige and Caitlin were electrifying. They arrived at the same time, took over highlight reels, and became destined for comparisons. Not because they're the same type of player, but because they were undeniably two of the best. But here's the twist. They followed two very different paths, both dominant, but in their own unique ways.
Two-man again was strong, the step-back three, and hits it! First half against Arkansas State, she's taking matters into her own hands here. Spins and hits her fifth. Bueckers left unattended.
Paige was the face of UConn, the most legendary program in women's college basketball, under the guidance of Coach Gino Auriemma. She immediately lived up to the hype, earning National Player of the Year honors as a freshman. After a few difficult years dealing with injuries, Paige made a triumphant return to lead UConn to a national championship in 2025. Her story is one of perseverance, raw talent, and eventual redemption. So yes, Paige has certainly earned all the praise. But Caitlin? That's a whole different level.
I think early in this ballgame looking to settle in. With the screen, Clark needs no room. Man, I don't know. This team and the grit and the pride and the toughness that's Caitlin Clark knocks down the three.
Caitlin Clark is a game changer. She didn't just lead Iowa to consecutive national championship games, she rewrote the record books in the process. She became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, not just in women's basketball, but across both men's and women's divisions. That achievement alone places her among the elite. Meanwhile, Paige missed an entire season recovering from a torn ACL, giving Caitlin a head start heading into the WNBA, and well, we saw what happened next.
Clark thought about pulling up from three, will dip inside and lay it in.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here, handling the physicality of Benijah Lane.
Clark, step back three, knocks it down.
Caitlin didn't just join the WNBA, she took it by storm. She led a lottery team to the playoffs, shattered 62 records, topped the league in assists, and immediately became the face of women's basketball. Her rookie year? A cultural earthquake. And now, the Paige versus Caitlin debate is back and louder than ever.
He just calls it like he sees it right here. You see this, 18.9 million viewers. Paige Bueckers, 8.5 million viewers.
It all started with March Madness viewership. When you break down the numbers, Caitlin didn't just win, she completely dominated. In 2024, Caitlin's NSA championship game between Iowa and South Carolina drew 18.9 million viewers, with a peak of 24 million. Fast forward to 2025, and Paige Bueckers leads UConn to a title. Sure, a major moment, but the viewership? Nowhere near the same level. Then came the WNBA draft.
With the first pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers.
Both were selected number 1 overall. Caitlin to the Fever in 2024, Paige to the Wings in 2025. But Caitlin's draft? It smashed records, pulling in 2.45 million viewers on ESPN, making it the most watched WNBA draft in history. Paige's draft? It didn't quite compare. From viewership to revenue to sheer attention, Caitlin's been in a different league since day one. And then there's the chatter from league executives.
It's really hard to impact the game as a rookie. One GM said, what Caitlin did last year was so special and unique. Paige is a special player. I think she'll be a good player this year, but I'm not expecting a Caitlin-like impact, and it's an unfair bar to set. Yes, obviously.
Behind closed doors, WNBA general managers have been surprisingly candid, anonymously, of course. Several reports indicate they believe Paige Bueckers will be a great player with potential to become an all-star and possibly even a Hall of Famer one day. But nearly all of them agree on one key point. She's not Caitlin Clark. And now we've got the numbers to add fuel to the fire. ESPN just released their projections for Paige's rookie season, and let's just say, people are talking. They've got her projected to average 16.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.8 steals, 0.8 blocks, while shooting 51% from the field and 82.2% from the line.
That's what the media cares about, Bueckers said. That's what everybody who watches basketball cares about. I used to be bothered by it, but I've done so much work on myself and my approach. The ability to not run a race in comparison, to run my own race and worry about that. Caitlin's a phenomenal player. We're also completely different players. While it doesn't seem like much on the surface, fans and analysts were quick to call her out.